And look at here in this situation, house is here and the one boy is also and living here, animals and folks and sheep and cane and poultries, so many things is here, and folks and forest, mango forest, coconut forest, everything is there. And this is that best place to describe about this poem, the ode on solitary, ode on solitary. Ode means a small poem, deals about some one subject, one concept of that small poem we can sing with musical instrument. Ode on solitude is a very poems written by Alexander Pope, and he born in that year of 1688 and died in the year of 1744 by his age of 56, and he died. And we are all familiar with that William Wordsworth poem, The Solitary Reaper. Solitary Reaper, and yeah, in that in the Arabian countries, and that girl used to reap and also the lonely girl was reaping and binding and singing a song. But this poem also deals about this pastoral life and village life and the peaceful and life also, solitude. Regarding for this, the person whoever possesses and Alexander the Pope is also the very powerful or eminent and poet. Alexander the Great is the great emperor who wants to conquer the whole world. Alexander Fleming, who invented that medicines, and Alexander and PC Alexander is also get lot of things from here. These poems deals life, that quiet life of that and village people, quiet life of and village people, and celebrate that virtue of happy and satisfaction. And he celebrates that virtue of that happy and satisfaction. It deals about the happy lives which satisfaction of self-sufficiency is very necessary, very important to all the people from here. Self-sufficiency, pity and pity. He composed this poem in the year of 1700 by his age of 12, and he had just and moved to the small estate, because it is also the one of the estate. In this estate, the young boys and also their parents and many people are living here to Tronal, and in the mango groves and the farm and the estate, everything is established. The Alexander Pope also in his young age and moved into this small place, and place from here, small place, a village for that, the main British, away from that main British town. But this place is away from that main town of that Hosur, and Hosur here, and his family forced to stay in this place, and by the faith of that Roman Catholics, and live by Roman Catholics faith. That village now known as that village where Pope was lived in that small village, that place is now known as that, and Pope's Wood. It is after his name, after his life, after him. The young child found his ideas in the solitude. And loneliness is that the best and the place and conditions to develop our knowledge and many things for this. This poem has that overall happy, content and peaceful, yet a bit hopeful mood. This poem deals about overall happy, and overall happy. Content means satisfaction, CONT, and content, peaceful, and yet a bit hopeful, and also the mood is described in this poem. This poem consists for that 5 quatrains. In that 5 quatrains, first quatrains deals about this, the happy man whose wish and care a few paternal acres bound, content a breath his native air in his own ground, so that a happy man can lead. And his ancestral had that the piece of land 10 acres and 12 acres, and it is sufficient to lead life in that native land, and he lead that in that place, whose heads and animals will give that milk, whose field with and a field with bread, in the field doing agriculture activities. Look at there, and agriculture activities. Here it is the animals, they used to get milk from that animals, they used to get bread from that agriculture, cultivating land, the fruits from that trees and all, and more things. So this is that very content life, and sufficient to lead for that family in this area. Is a very good nice things, and it describes about the natural beauty and his happiness. In the second quatrains and 4 lines deals about whose heads with milk, whose field with bread, and whose folks supply him with attire. In those days, the dresses is not made by the cotton or anything, made by that only the wool of that, the hair of that animals. So the folk animals and sheep and goat, from that they extract the hair, and through that they make that cloth for this, and shed during that the trees, and the whose trees in the summer yield him that shade, and shade during that sultry days he can go and take rest under the shade of the tree during the summer times. In the winter he used that tree for firewood regarding for this. In that third quatrains deals about that, but who can unconcernedly find, but who can unconcernedly and find hours, days and years slide soft away. He did not have any worries, any sufferings in his life. He led that very content life, satisfied life in many years without worrying. And how that biblical man lead a very happy life. He said that after granary was filled and he put one leg onto end leg, hereafter I no need problem in my life. And also he lead life in that place. Hours and days and years slide soft away. In the health of the body, the peace of the mind, the quiet by the day, that is sufficient for this. He gained in that small village town, the village, and that he gained that good body health and also the peaceful mind, because his ancestral had given that some bound of acres of land. He had that animals, he had trees, he had and poultries, and he had some folks and animals for this, for meat. He used to get fruits from the trees, he used to shed from the trees during the summer, fire from the trees, but so that he did not get any worry in his life. He led that very successful life in this place. It is that and village life and country life, and we denied to have nowadays, and these people enjoying such a happy life from here in that spot. The sound sleep by night. During the night times, if we stayed in the town, we can continuously hear that sound of the transport and vehicles movement, horn sound, and the sound of the parking talks and many more things. During the night times, if I come here, and it is that is and a very peaceful and silent place over here, silent place. And in that place, and village stands for silence, no problem. The sound sleep by night, the study and ease, study and help us to read about a lot of things. This is the best time, best place to read, and in that village only. Village is that best place to make the students to get their proper education without any and barriers and background noises, and from here and interest from that together mixed the sleep, the sound sleep by the night, study and ease. They can study very well lot of things without any disturbance, together mixed. the sweet recreation and innocence which that most does please with meditations. The innocent peoples lead that very content life. They did not and work for 24 hours to get the and money, to get the wealth, to get the property. They used to live that content life in that place. They used to do that meditations to get that and spiritual power, some of that theological power. They wanted the blessing of the God only. They were very simple and contented, happy life, all the people, village people, and not like and town man many more and places. And in the last quatrains deals about that then let me live unseen, unknown, and thus unlamented, let me die, unlamented, let me die, and still from that world and not a and store and not a stone, and tell where I live. These 4 lines I loved very much, because but nowadays the people wants to and leave their some of the monuments and to make their name permanent, but that village peoples don't want to leave that any and trash to reveal their identities permanently in that spot. Let me live like an animal, how that animals and lion and tigers and elephants, so many things they lived and pass away, and no trash regarding that. Let me to live peace and content life, and like that he said, and then let me live unseen, unknown, and this and thus lamented, let me not to die. At the time of death, no one should cry for me. I am also don't worry about that. Like animals, I should live in this world. I must go away in that spot here. Still from that world, still from that, as without knowledge of this world and anyone, we must and give and come and live. And in the same manner, without knowledge of and we must go away from there. That is, without knowledge of this owner, I had come here. But after taking this video, I will and go away from that place. Like that, who is the owner of this world? God is that owner of the world. No more. Suppose if we see that Tanjai very big temples and Rajaraja Solan, and his son is also Genganeshwarapuram temple, and Taj Mahal is that Shahjahan, and like that many monuments are there to know about their and names. Like that, he don't want such a extraordinary and life regarding for this, and very humble life. And also in my native place, one graveyard is there. In the husband and wife, they have occupied more than a cent to construct the huge dam in that place. Like that, you don't want to any storm and marble and tell where I buried, where I and lie in this world. For that, everybody wants to after death. If you dig that ground, what would happen? Nothing is in that place. Only the trace of the stone was lying in that place. Let me lie unseen and unknown. Unlamented, let me die. I should not and give any grievances to anyone. Should not worry about for death of me. That is essential. Still from that world. Like that, without and knowledge and leave any trash, we must go away from this. That is the real way of life. Then only you go to the God. Unless we cannot go to the God, our spirit lighterings over here only. Still from that world, and not a stone tell where I lie. Even that small ordinary people have that stone. After their death, they buried and also put that marbles and make that buildings and write their name and birth and death name is permanently mentioned. He did not like. Alexander Pope don't like, and it is also more or less look like this. In the word on that Solitude deals about biographical informations, and he deals about in these poems we come across that and his economic status, and he did not have that any the movable properties. All is that immovable properties which was lived by the predecessors and also forefathers, and they have possessed some piece of, here it is surrounded by and 25 acres of the land in that place, and from here the happy man, even if anybody is whoever live in that village life, and without having that huge amount of balance in the bank, and a huge and gold in their locker, and a huge and stove granary and food material in the granaries, they lead very happy life in this world. So whoever live in that village, they lead very content and peaceful life. They don't want to have any permanent and life like this. That is essential. The happy man. So I would like to sing. I told you that and this can sing as a song with that musical instrument. I don't have any musical instrument, but anyhow I would like to see. This poem deals about that overall happy is very important. Some people have that only particular happiness, another people have some kind of happiness. All the people cannot have that and overall in the and pan happiness, but this Alexander Pope held that pan happiness in their life. The happy man whose wish and care after paternal acres bound, the content to breathe in a native air, because my paternal and acres bound, my father, my grandfathers did not leave any land for me in my native place, in my hometown. That is why I had come and working in this institution, and in this far away from that, more than 700 kilometers from here. But they had given that land to others people. They did not possess anything. They also lived like Alexander Pope. That's why I am telling you. A few paternal acres bound, content to breathe his native air in his own ground. In his own ground, whose heads with milk and whose filled with bread, whose folk supply him that attire. Attire means dress, the cloth, attire. This dress is made out of that cotton, but in those days people made out of this hair of the sheep or goat or anything in that place. Attires, and whose trees in that summer yield the shade, who in that winter's fire, but who can unconcernedly find hours, days and years slide soft away in healthy of the body and that peace of the mind. Nowadays in the 21st centuries, people cannot get that healthy body as well as that peaceful mind, whether it is people living in that town or that villages, because all people not seeking for that religious and power, not giving importance for God anything in the hours and days, but who can unconcernedly find hours, days and years slide soft away in the health of the body, peace of the mind, quiet by the day. Healthy body and peace of the mind is required, but nowadays people require the power, political power. People require that money. It is temporary things. No one can importance for this healthy body and peace of the and mind. In those days people used to give for importance to have that healthy body and also the peace of the mind. Now there is a question mark to me as well as that boy and his Adi. He is a very good nice and person. I show his face at the end of this climax. Sound sleep by night. In the village is that no sound. The only is the sound of the owls, the sound of the fox, the sound of the some of the and night survivors, and we cannot see another sound. The sound sleep by night and study and ease, together mixed sweet recreation and innocence, which most and does please with meditation. The people lead that very humble life, simple life. They are used to do the meditation and to study about the solar system while sitting on that people trees, under the banyan trees, under their house. They invented that medicines. They study about the anatomy, they study about engineering, they study about all the disciplines because of that analogy was invented by that village people only in those days by the meditation. Nowadays no meditation, only for playing cricket, only for that seeing serials, only to fighting, and also giving importance to separations in the name of the caste, in the name of religions, in the name of the color, name of the economical status. They make lot of problems over here, and due to their greediness and foolishness everything was spoiled. Let me die, let me live, and then let me live unseen, unknown, and thus unlamented let me die, steal from the world not a stone, tell where I lie. I don't want very good, nice, wonderful poem, brothers. Like that, we have to lead life like this, and suggestion of this, and Alexander Pope is very important. And the William Wordsworth, Solitary Reaper, a woman, an old woman was reaping and binding when he was crossing that Arabian valley. Arabian valleys that a girl was used to, and sing a song in the Arabian language by the imagination, and find out that girl is singing about the song about the past unhappy life or past war and past mishap which was happened in this life. Like that, Ode on Solitude also deals about that lonely man contented life, and that Solitary Reapers deals about old women's and nostalgia, the past nostalgia, the past remembrance, and that girl was recalling the past and happy experiences, and also lamented. But this is that unlamentings, and after leading that very content and very healthy body life and peaceful mind life, we should and conclude our life with full of happiness without unlamentations. Very good, nice information is given by that people. We should do the meditations to get that very healthy body and healthy mind is more important than get anything in this world. Thank you friends for cooperate with me. Thank you. Bye.